let's talk a little bit about MBSR and Jon Kabat-Zinn. Jon Kabat-Zinn is the founder of MBSR.
Yeah, designer. Yeah.
The designer. He's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the Phil for you. There was a time in America's history when some folks went to the East and, discovered, or they didn't discover it, it was there.
Right.
They harvested this technology, this, Buddhism. It's a part of a couple different Hinduism, and they brought that back to America. And Jon Kabat-Zinn is one of them.
So I'm not sure if John went east or he learned in the United States from Eastern monks.
Okay.
He may have done that. The founders of the Insight Meditation Society went east, spent many years in monasteries in different places. And then they came back and experimented, maybe modified it a little bit to make it more easier for the Western body.
Yeah.
And the modern times. But they retained the gist of it, the basic teaching. So so you're thinking probably about the founders of the Insight Meditation Society. But I'm not sure if Jon Kabat-Zinn went east or he learned. But what I do know is that when he was doing his PhD at MIT, he had already learned how to meditate. And he had found out that it was helping him to go through the stress of grad school. And then he got his PhD and he joined UMass Medical School. John was a molecular biologist, not a physician, but his friends were. So one day he asked his friends, Western medicine, cure chronic pain and mental health problems, things that really make people suffer? Do we have a cure for it right now? And I'm talking about 70s, maybe late 70s. And the answer was yes and no. Yes, they do get better to some extent. No, because it's not a cure, because many of them come back after some time. So some people feel better and they can manage. Some people come back, and when they do come back, a lot of times we increase the dose.
Yeah.
Okay. So John said, I have an idea. We are all scientists, can we do an experiment? And the experiment would be, you do whatever you do, the medicine therapy, but give them the option to come meditate with me. And we'll just see. And we will do a control group,
Yeah.
So that's how the experiment started. And all the doctor friends supported John's efforts. Said, yeah, that's a good idea. And so it started, and the results were amazing. It's not what most physicians had expected. Basically, they found two things. One is that there were more people in the meditating group that said that they felt better and they can manage on their own. So they didn't come back. Then there were others who did come back, but among the people who did come back, the duration, the time frame after which they came back, that time frame was longer than in the group that was not meditating.
So in the meditating group, they either didn't come back at all or it took them a longer time before they came back. Is that called recidivism?
Is
Something like that.
in prisons it's called. I don't know what it's called for
Oh, yeah, that's in
patients.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they either
Yeah.
were cured,
Yeah.
their
Or they
orientation or the
right.
relationship with their ailment had dissipated so that they didn't need any more help,
Yeah.
or it took a longer time than the control group where they were just probably treating them with drugs
Yeah.
or surgeries or something.
Right. Yeah. So so that encouraged the all the physicians who were telling their patients. So they said, okay, this is a good thing. Let's continue the research, and more doctors started referring them to the program, and this was the program that Jon had started at UMass Medical School. And I think there was almost a group of 5,000 doctors who were referring their patients that you have this option to try. And then Jon was teaching them alone. And then he said, no, this is big. This has so much potential.
Yeah.
So this is really a great public health initiative, and it should be grown and made bigger. So then they started the teacher training program. And let's get more teachers to be trained and be able to teach this.
Yeah.
So so that's how it came about. And then now, there are thousands and thousands of teachers all around the world teaching the same course. Some of the things have changed. The curriculum is more or less the same. We follow the curriculum, yet we also bring in our own practice, our own experience, even our own background.
Yeah.
Because we are all different. So the way of teaching can be different, and the way of teaching could also depend on the group.
Yeah.
Because they also are contributing to it.
Yeah.
So it's like the curriculum is like if I can use a metaphor of a river. So if the curriculum is like the riverbed and the banks, but the water that flows is the people.
Yeah. And it changes the
It changes.
the
It changes.
bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how much water and its force.
Yeah.
Maybe there's things in the water like limbs or
all of it.
rocks.
All of it.
Yeah.
What falls on the river.
Yeah.
Whether there is more rain, less rain, flooding.
Yeah. And you're one of these teachers.
I am one of these teachers, part of this huge world community.
Yeah. How long have you been teaching MBSR? When did you get your certificate?
So it works in two steps. First, you go through the training that takes like a couple of years. And then you get qualified to teach. And then you start teaching.
Yeah.
And then after you have taught so many courses, then you go through another phase where you work through a master teacher, a mentor, and someone with whom you can discuss, what is going easy for you, what's hard, and sort of try to improve your teaching. And then you go through an assessment with another teacher who would actually look at your videos. And, so that's the certification process. So it takes a while. So I believe I got qualified to teach in 2016. I started on my path in 2014, around the same time you did.
Yeah.
You took MBSR.
Yeah.
And then initially I wasn't sure. I was thinking, what attracted me to this program is that it was a true combination of the Eastern philosophy, Eastern psychology, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
Eastern wisdom, and the Western science and Western medicine.
Yeah.
So they called it complementary medicine, not alternative medicine. There are alternative medicines, like people would do this or that.
Yeah.
I know I
This
have
is
friends who would never take Western medicine or allopathic medicine. They would treat themselves with homeopathy
Mhm.
or naturopathy, something alternative. Or there are friends who would only take Chinese medicine, but
Mhm.
not this. Some people I know who would only take Ayurvedic medicine, which is, very Indian, ancient, another system. But this was developed in the modern times, in the in a modern medical school. So it has the stamp of the medical school. Doctors are sending their patients. Yet it has the Eastern wisdom all encapsulated inside the curriculum. And this secular part of it attracted me because, meditation is taught in so many religious, spiritual, organizational settings.
Mhm.
And I have done that before. But then that restricts to a certain class of people who feel they belong there,
Yeah.
and they'll go there. But if it's secular, it's like public school. Everybody can go there.
Yeah.
Anybody can go
Some
there.
people say that Jon Kabat-Zinn took the Buddhism out of meditation, or took the religion. That's what when you say secular,
Yeah,
you mean there's no
the
religious
ceremonial
dogma.
things
Yeah.
are gone.
There's no
I mean,
chanting. There's
Buddhist, the way Buddha taught it, it wasn't really a religion, right?
yeah.
He just went to find the answer to suffering. He never talked about God.
Yeah. And
You know,
you could even see Buddhism as a complementary
exactly. If people asked him, big questions, he said, I don't know anything other than what I have experienced.
yeah. Experience is my teacher.
Yeah.
And I will
And
share that with you.
I'll share that with you, but you have to experience it yourself
Yeah.
to know. So that part was retained,
Yeah.
So the essence was always retained within MBSR.
Mm-hmm.
So the wisdom wasn't lost, the method wasn't lost,
No.
but it got the validation from the medical community.
Yeah.
So it became more accessible. And so that's what attracted me to this.